Okay, an important announcement for this particular podcast. So, as you well know, this podcast goes on for 20 minutes, sometimes 25 minutes, God forbid longer. Okay, did a bit of research, made a strategic decision, completely unilateral decision. Well, it's just me to make that decision, obviously. I've decided I'm going to make this podcast a bit shorter. Let's see. The theory is that I'm doing this podcast Monday to Friday, and to listen Monday to Friday 5 times a week for 20 minutes is too much of a demand. Somebody else does a podcast as well, but he just makes it 10 minutes, and maybe that's the way to go. Maybe 20 minutes is just too much to expect. I mean, it's not like this is it's not nectar from the gods. I just made up that expression. Bit of feedback from yesterday's episode. People felt I was a bit harsh with Gerald, and I listened to the tape. I listened only once to the tape. I don't think I was too harsh with Gerald. I think, in fact, the care and the love came through. When you care about somebody and they're doing something that's like just exasperates you and just you think is insane, you can't just remain calm. How do you remain calm? You don't tell your child, Jimmy, take your hand off the hot plate, little boy. No, so I was firm, and I think I had to be firm and I had to be direct, and I couldn't pussyfoot around it. I couldn't sugarcoat the situation. Gerald wanted to go to a specialist, and I was shocked and horrified that he wasn't just going to a GP. Just to recap, just for a basic checkup, make sure your blood glucose levels, check them out. Check out your blood cholesterol levels, blood pressure, your vitals. Listen to the heart, listen to the lungs. Do the tympani. That's like an examination when you clap. Feeling for tumors or whatever in the lungs. Your GP, captain of the medical ship. Okay. And the ship nearly went into an iceberg. Nearly went into an iceberg and the ship nearly sunk, thanks to Gerald. Don't feel bad, Gerald. You're 40, 45. You can still get saved. And I'm going to phone Gerald today and get an update. Feel it out. See if he really is upset. There's that expression, you can't be upset on behalf of somebody else. I don't believe in that expression, by the way. I think you can be upset on behalf of somebody else. And I welcome the criticism. Thank you very much. Send it my way. Bit of a interesting reaction to the Dave Chappelle. So Dave Chappelle, a famous stand-up comedian, it's got a lot of criticism, as I mentioned yesterday, on his Netflix special. Bit of a transphobic, homophobic content. And then somebody wrote a review, an article about it. I just skimmed through it. Didn't have time to read the whole article. Said some touches of brilliance, some touches of good humor, but most of the act was just scattered with harsh, mindless, homophobic, transphobic rhetoric. Who knows? Who knew? I have it on good authority that he is a world-renowned stand-up comedian. As I said yesterday, he's considered like the best at the moment. He's at the top of his game. Go figure. So, what has happened at Netflix? So Ted Sarandos, as I said, he supports Dave Chappelle all the way. I don't know if Ted Sarandos himself is transphobic or homophobic. Who knows? Who's to say? But you know what's happened at Netflix? All their transgender employees They've walked out in protest. How many staff at Netflix could possibly be transgender? How many? They say statistically 6% of the population is homosexual, gay. What percentage of the staff at Netflix are transgender? I reckon two people are standing there with their placards outside Netflix, wherever Netflix is situated. I'm guessing it's in San Diego or somewhere in California. However, Arnold Schwarzenegger says it. Can't be a lot of people. It really can't. But they're holding a lot of political muscle. They'll get a lot of attention. It made the news. A bit more of a follow-up. I must just follow up a little bit. It turns out I didn't tell the whole story about Helen Ziller yesterday. Helen Ziller, I just alluded to. I didn't mention the whole context of the story, and I forgot about it. What Helen Ziller also went on about, when Helen Ziller was defending the posters, the famous posters, what she also said, what I heard was, I reject kill the Boer. I reject cutting the white man's throat. I haven't heard them say that. But the kill the Boer thing comes from a song. I think it comes from a struggle song back in the day, maybe from the 80s or the early 90s. I think for Helen Ziller to bring up kill the Boer in this context, it's now 2021. It's kind of going backwards. So, don't know about that. What other things? I mean, I've been accused. Somebody wrote to me, Damon, your podcast is nothing but a platform to attack the Democratic Alliance. And then they've said in brackets, my political home for the last 27 years. Anonymous. A platform to attack the DA? I'm not sure. Maybe I am a victim, or maybe not a victim. My material, what I convey to you, is as a result of what I'm seeing in the media. When I use the word media, we must include social media. You know, when we used to talk about media in the past, we were talking about the newspapers, television, radio. Now when we talk about media, we're including social media. I can't help it if the DA, there's always something happening with them. I can't help it. If I see something funny and interesting with other political parties, I do my best to include it. I really, really do my best to include it. For example, and I forgot to mention this was very funny. Last week, the ACDP, they sent a thing on Twitter. It was like a poster. Reasons to vote for the ACDP, and it mentioned all these things, all these bullet points. And quite a number of people reacted. Thank you. Thank you very much, ACDP. These are reasons, thank you. These are reasons not to vote for you. And it was so funny. I mean, they're against abortion. They're against gay marriage. They're against the legalization of weed, dacha, marijuana. What else are they against? Did I say gay marriage? I can't remember. They're against all kinds of things that, you know, most reasonable people don't have a problem with, don't really care about it, actually. I don't care. If you want to legalize dacha, I don't really care. Legalize dacha. Not my concern. I don't smoke dacha. I don't eat dacha. So I admit I missed that story because it was actually very funny at the time. I can't help it. There's another DA thing that just came out. I can't avoid it. So the DA's chief whip, Natasha Mazzoni, she got into a little bit of an argument, a debate on Twitter. I don't remember the details, but she was attacking the one woman and it got very personal. I even got involved. I couldn't help myself. I said, Natasha, this is really beneath you. This is, what did I say? This is very, I can't, something along the lines of, this is like beneath you, this is undignified, this is not for a politician to be projecting these things on Twitter. Twitter is not the platform for you to be having a fight with somebody. It's just so undignified. Something along those lines. Anyway, Natasha Mazzoni, she left Twitter. She's left Twitter. She deleted her account. She gave a farewell little thingy. I wish she's left. You know, if you're going to do a farewell and then don't do a farewell and then delete your account straight away. If you plan on deleting your account and you want to do a farewell, please don't do what Natasha did. I had to rely on somebody's screenshot to see it. So she does her farewell and then she deletes her account. Do a farewell and then leave it for half a day or a whole day. Then delete your account, please. So I don't know what happened. Rumors are is that Natasha Mazzoni was encouraged, advised, pushed, coerced, asked to leave Twitter. Dring, dring. Natasha, Helen here. I think it's time, dear. You know, Helen's an egg. Helen knows about Twitter. Helen Zille also left Twitter, but then she came back. We left Twitter, and then she made a private Twitter. You can do that. I don't know. Don't ask me how to do it. I can't even work my Instagram. God help me with LinkedIn. I tried to get back onto LinkedIn last night, by the way. Kept on rejecting me. I'll do it. I'll try it another time. I haven't gone near Instagram for over a week because I'm just so clueless. So Helen Zille, she started a private. She's on a private Twitter where I think you have to apply to be a follower of hers, and then she accepts you or rejects you. But what happens is if Helen Zille tweets something really juicy and interesting, people retweet it. So I see it anyway. Anyway, I don't know what happened. Did they call Natasha into a meeting? Maybe a Zoom meeting? Who was at the meeting? Who knows? So anyway, we don't know. One can speculate. Anyway, Natasha Mazzoni, will she start a private exclusive Twitter account? I don't know. I wasn't following her. I'm not gonna join her private thing. Does the Democratic Alliance have a social media policy? That is the question. But over a year ago, they definitely didn't have one, because people were harassing John Steenhuisen, telling John Steenhuisen, John, do something about Helen Zille. She's out of control with her tweets. And John Steenhuisen responded, what Helen Zille does on Twitter is none of my business. She's free to tweet whatever she likes. So obviously, the Democratic Alliance didn't have a social media policy. Maybe they've changed their mind since then. Somehow I don't think so. Mind you, I haven't seen John Steenhuisen get into a Twitter argument with anybody lately. Maybe there was an intervention. Maybe someone sat him down, listen here, John, you're the leader of a big political party. Yes, I know it's getting smaller. We know that. But you know, it's still reasonable. You might get 18% of the vote, maybe between 15 and 18. Just, keep it dignified. Give it a bit of give yourself a bit of kind of like a gravitas. Don't lower yourself by getting into personal bitchy fights with people. So that's the end of Natasha Mazzoni. What will Twitter do? What will Twitter do without her? Well, Twitter will move on. It won't be the same. It won't be the same. Have you noticed? I haven't gone into the Democratic Alliance, the DA poster debacle, because you know why? They've stopped talking about it. Well done. Over 8 or 9 or 10 days later, the DA eventually have realized, okay, let's keep no, you know what? Let's not talk about the poster debacle. You know, it's the poster embarrassment. Let's just, the faux pas. Let's stop talking about it. Wow. And there you go. Somebody like me is not going to talk about it anymore. But I must add one thing, because there's something I forgot about. The DA campaign manager in Kululeni. Kululeni? Where's that? Used to be called the East Strand. It's a little area to the east of Johannesburg, part of KUWTK. So his name is Mike Waters. He resigned as the campaign manager for Kululeni, for the DA, but he's still part of the DA. He still belongs to the DA. Now, he has resigned because of the poster debacle. But originally I thought he resigned because he was, so offended and horrified and he disagreed with the poster. No. He resigned because the Democratic Alliance removed the posters. He described that decision to take the posters down as spineless. And he cannot be part and parcel of this spineless action. So he's left, he's no longer the campaign manager. But then how can you still be part of the DA? Go figure. Okay, so now let's just see. Okay. Gonna finish off very soon. There was just one little thing that I forgot to mention yesterday. Somebody from the DA, so obsessed with it. Somebody who criticized me, maybe they're right. Maybe this is a platform to attack I can't help it, they're funny. The ANC said something really funny. I think it was David Mabuza, Deputy President. This is what he said. We'll continue to provide services for you even if you don't vote for us. You do realize what a stupid statement that is? Your vote is your secret anyway. You don't know who voted for you, ANC. We'll continue to provide services for you even if you don't vote for us. Oh, God help us. Anyway, I try to keep it shorter than the usual. We're gonna aim for a 10-minute or a 12-minute podcast. We'll get there. And we will grow together.